You're right. Had we formalized the agreement initially, we wouldn't be in this mess. That's my oversight. Ruth puffed up with arrogance at my admission. Exactly. Don't try to push your mistakes onto others and whine about it later. In the adult working world, contracts are everything. Oral agreements are just a courtesy, and it's your fault for trusting them. My mother and I were flabbergasted by her selfish logic. If she could maintain such a self-centered attitude, her life must be blissful. But that bliss ends here. If that's how you see it, then I don't feel guilty. Actually, I've already sold that system to the Ocean Heaven Inn, so no hard feelings. Ruth gasped in shock. Now it was her turn to be dumbfounded. Is something wrong? I developed the system, and since we had no sales contract, I'm the owner. It's my right to sell it to whoever I want. Wait, that's so unfair. That system was developed specifically for our inn, and now you've sold it to our competition? Ruth panicked and clung to me, but it was too late. The Ocean Heaven Inn, which had recently undergone a change in management, was now renowned for its revitalized services and hospitality. With attentive customer service and thorough care, their performance was rapidly improving, even surpassing many well-known hotels in customer satisfaction. They were, essentially, our so-called rival. It was just the other day, right after the dime incident with Ruth, that a representative from the inn reached out to me directly. I almost wondered if they had a corporate spy, so surprised was I by their initiative. Their keen ability to gather information was both frightening and impressive, but perhaps that's to be expected from a thriving business in these times. After discussing it, it turned out that with some customization, my system could be adapted for their exclusive use. And the compensation they offered was more than satisfactory, making me all the happier. No need to force Ruth into buying it when I could secure proper compensation for my work elsewhere. That's just an oral agreement, isn't it? Without a contract, the fault lies on you for trusting the other person. Throwing Ruth's earlier words back at her made her face turn bright red. She seemed to want to retaliate, but all I could see was a fish gasping for air. Heather, I was wrong. If we can't manage the reservations, our reputation will plummet. You wouldn't want to tarnish the memory of the grandmother who doted on you, would you? I'll increase your compensation and even tip you this time. Realizing her disadvantage, Ruth tried to win me over with a forced smile. However, her sudden change of heart felt insincere and made me uncomfortable. I can't trust someone who tried to swindle their own niece and steal a system. The one ruining the reputation and risking the inn isn't me, it's you. Don't blame others for your actions. I wasn't freelancing for nothing. Even with familial ties, the thought of working with Ruth again was out of the question. And to think she'd offer a tip at this stage was laughable. If you're really interested in purchasing the system, I'll send you a formal quote later. But for a system like that, it won't be cheap, certainly running into the thousands. That's outrageous. Charging thousands is just extortion. Besides, we're family. We shouldn't need to bother with quotes and contracts. Her endless whining tested my patience. I've learned my lesson about oral agreements the hard way, so I won't consider selling without a contract. That's all there is to it, so please leave. If you keep this up, I'll call the police. Pointing firmly towards the gate and showing her my phone dialed to 911, she clenched her teeth in frustration, but finally left. Running a hospitality business, she likely wanted to avoid a situation that involved the police. After the dime incident, I spilled everything to my grandmother, who was residing in the facility. I was reluctant to tattle, but if Ruth continued her reckless behavior, it was clear the century-old inn would be doomed. I advised my grandmother to take swift action. I'm sorry, Heather, for causing you trouble because of my poor judgment. As expected, my grandmother was furious, then broke down in tears. It pained me to see her upset in her peaceful old age, but the inn was in crisis. On the brink, my grandmother stormed into the inn, gathered the staff and Ruth in the meeting room, and launched into an emergency management meeting. I wasn't privy to the details, but it turned into a denunciation of Ruth. My grandmother meticulously reviewed the books since the handover, pointed out the deteriorating management over the years without mercy, and laid into Ruth for her misdeeds towards me. Making your niece work for free for a year and paying her only a dime? That's inexcusable both as a manager and as a person. You can no longer be in charge. You are relieved of your duties as innkeeper effective today. I've been doing my best for the inn. This is too much. Please reconsider. Ignoring Ruth's tearful pleas, my grandmother apologized to the staff for Ruth's misconduct. She had gathered information from former employees, disgusted by Ruth's sloppy reservation management and insincere hospitality, and had been looking for the right moment to dismiss her. Actually, I've decided to sell our inn to the Ocean Heaven Inn. A few days later, my grandmother finalized the sale. The buyer was the inn I had transferred the system to. Their capable manager was looking to expand, and the negotiations went smoothly. Grandma, are you sure about selling? It's been in our family for generations. It's okay. It's better than letting it fall into ruin under her management. I'm just disappointed in my own lack of judgment. I thought she was at least competent in hospitality. My grandmother worked out a deal to transfer the management rights to the Ocean Heaven Inn while ensuring our inn's name and legacy continued. With solid management, our inn structure and history have a chance to thrive once more. Be thankful there's an option. Normally, you'd be stripped of everything for such failures. She was unyielding with Ruth, offering her the choice between continuing as a regular employee until retirement or finding a new job. Ruth chose to start over as a rank-and-file employee. At 55, it seemed better to her than job hunting, but gone were the days of ordering employees around while she relaxed. Hospitality work is physically demanding, and without being accustomed to it, Ruth was bound to suffer through muscle and joint pain. Ruth lamented, "How did it come to this? My legs hurt, and I'm exhausted by the end of the day. The pay is low, and there's no ease even at this age." According to my mother, Ruth occasionally called to complain. She had it coming, considering she used to make her employees do all the hard work. Plus, I heard her salary is now better than when she was in charge, unaware that the tables have turned on her exploitation of employee wages. She should be grateful for having a job at all. As for me, this incident led to more work in the hospitality field. For a fledgling freelancer, I'm doing quite well. My goal is to save enough for worry-free retirement. Even if freelancing doesn't work out, this experience will surely be beneficial, and I've resolved to document anything business-related, no matter how close the relationship. I'm done being swayed by oral agreements.